Hello, I'm Peter Hastings, a lawyer and education administrator and so on. Um, Welcome back to Life Lessons from a Lawyer. I'm going to talk now about communication in planning between people for their future. So, the phrase I think to use here is to hope for the best, but plan for the worst. So, lawyers, I think, are often seen as boring and negative, and in a way that's true. That's what they should be, because if I draft a will for someone and say, look, you know, if you're not here, who do you want to have everything? My son. Okay, that's great. What if your son dies before you, or in the same car accident, or has the same disease as you? You both die in a pandemic. Who's going to get it then? Okay, now my grandchildren. Okay, well, they're very small, so who's going to look after them, and who's gonna look after the money? So, maybe your daughter would look after them, but would the daughter's husband be the man to have the money, or would you be able to trust him? What if he runs off with it? What are you gonna do? So, it can sound very, negative, but the point, particularly with a will, is there's no point doing a will if you're gonna leave a gap in it. If in the end, the court has to get involved, the government get to get some of the estate when the person wanted to make a will, and their will hasn't been carried forward because they didn't think of all the bad things that could happen. And in a way, all legal documents are about what could go wrong. This is why a lease, if you go and take a shop, the lease will be 30 or 40 pages, and a shop is just an empty box. And you're going to go in there and sell your tables and chairs from it, or your apples and pears. And um, doesn't sound very complicated, but you need a lease to say, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if the place burns down? What if the landlord goes bust? What if you don't pay your rent? What's going to happen if one of you dies? What happens if one of you goes bankrupt or gets sued by someone else? So, uh, law conversations with lawyers can be daunting, and they can be daunting for the lawyer, I can tell you. You're always saying, "Well, what if this? What if that happens?" I've had people say to me, I'm gonna let's put the property in my son's name because I know he will look after it all, for the rest of the family." And I sort of have to say, "Are you sure about that? Are you sure that you want to take that risk? You don't want to put some safeguards in? Are you sure you want to make a will that leaves everything to one person? What if they die with you, or before you, or soon after you? Are you sure you want to do that?" Um, so that can sound bad, but it does bring me on again a more personal level, that these are difficult conversations, but they're for grown-ups. They're grown-ups taking serious decisions. What are you going to buy? What are you going to How are you going to hold that shop? Are you going to buy this house or this business? Where are you going to leave your estate to? Do you want to give your assets away during your lifetime? Um, these are serious decisions for grown-ups, and like all adult decisions, it's better if they're confronted. So it's a truth, for example, that a lot of couples end up having children without ever having discussed if they want children, or having discussed how they're going to bring that child up, whereabouts, how they're going to finance it, wh- which schooling they like to have, what religion they're going to use, which country they want to bring them up in, what their beliefs are, and cultural upbringing they want that child to have. And these are difficult adult decisions, but difficult adult decisions are for adults to have beforehand. So I think, again, lawyers, don't be as bad as all lawyers, but at least with all these decisions, have the frank conversation, calmly but seriously, and hope for the best, but plan for the worst. Think what could go wrong, and try and work out some answers for that. Thanks very much. See you next time.